Hi, I'm Scott Engel, Managing Director of RotoExperts.com. I am the king. I am fantasy, and I am here to help you with cutting some dead wood off your roster. I always say don't be too reactionary early in the year, but there are some guys you just gotta get rid of. And to think, this guy was one of my favorite players when he was in his prime, and his prime is already over, it seems. It's time to get rid of Tim LINCECUM. I don't care what type of league, what size league you play in. It's just apparent that the real Tim LINCECUM, or the Tim LINCECUM that we used to know, is not going to come back. I think Tim is resigned to the fact that he won't see his usual self again, to the point that he's cut his hair. He's just not the same Tim LINCECUM in looks at all. The big inning bites him in every single start. I'm tired of waiting for Tim LINCECUM to turn it around since last year. I know you are too. You need to make room on your roster. Get rid of Tim LINCECUM. They're stashing, and then there's just wasting a roster spot. Roy Halladay with his shoulder, nobody knows when he's going to come back. Fantasy players always trying to be smarter than the next guy, saying, oh, you know, maybe I'll wait for Halladay when he comes back. We don't even know if Halladay is going to be back this year. You can't waste a valuable roster spot on a guy when we just don't know his return date and we don't know what he's going to look like when he comes back. Thanks for the memories, Roy Halladay. See ya. LEONYS was a popular late-round pick with some upside after he flashed some promise and ability in the spring, but throughout the season's first month plus, it has appeared that this guy is just not going to make an impact this year. I still like LEONYS in keeper and dynasty leagues, but he has a steep learning curve at the plate. It's kind of obvious. Maybe we'll see some flashes in the second half, but don't waste a roster spot with LEONYS anymore unless you play in an AL-only league and you're desperate for some outfield guys to basically fill one of those spots. Closers are a lot like field goal kickers in football. Sometimes they have great years, then the next year they're terrible, and then they come back out of nowhere and they're good again. Such is the case with Kevin Gregg of the Cubs, who all of a sudden looks like a closer again when he was early in his career. That means KYUJI FUJIKAWA is not going to get the chance to close when he comes back off the disabled list. You can't waste valuable roster space. I stretch it. Gregg has been terrific so far. FUJIKAWA was very bumpy early in the year. Don't try to outsmart yourself. Get rid of KYUJI FUJIKAWA because it doesn't look like he's going to get a chance to close again anytime soon. You drafted EMILIO BONIFACIO in the preseason trying to get a cheap source of steals. You thought he was going to play a lot and you were going to get those bags, those swipes, those runs scored. Bonifacio is quickly falling out of favor. Well, all of the Blue Jays have fallen out of favor very quickly, but Bonifacio can't seem to crack the lineup regularly. He's wasting roster space for a lot of people. We saw a 6-game stretch recently in which he just got one start. EMILIO Bonifacio, send him back to Miami maybe. They could use somebody. For more great insight on roster moves and who to trade and who to get rid of and who to cut, who to pick up, check out our exclusive Edge Fantasy Baseball package available right now. Tim McCullough's weekly in-season rankings are brand new and tell you who to get rid of and who to pick up.